What is going on, community? I have been waiting a while to say, finally, the night has come back. No. Okay, calm down. We're getting too dramatic. We're not gonna be that dramatic. It's just that it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without. Wait. Gotta calm down. It doesn't take all that. That's too dramatic. I just want you to allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is OF to the BK, Flash by Night, but you could call me TJ. Watch the premiere or you can watch the replay. Okay. We're not gonna do that. We are just going to say, welcome back to the Flash by Night channel. This is a super duper late version of the re-up, my show where I show you the new comic book day books I picked up and whatever else I picked up during the week. And it's been a long time since I got to do this. I've been taking care of some career stuff, some real life stuff. I haven't been getting a whole lot of, I've gotten a decent amount of sleep, but like leading into this last week, it was hectic. But either way, we are back to getting to our nerdy stuff. I'm finally reading books I've been picking up. I finally saw Shang-Chi. It took forever, but like I say, things have been happening. Progress is being made, but we are back to doing this. So go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we are going to jump into the books I've grabbed over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. They're not a lot. I am team small haul, as most of you know. So it's probably 10 or 12 books, but I still want to show them off and also just get back to doing this because I missed it. So the first book I have to show you is Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 30. Now, I gave this a read. There, I have a few thoughts on it. Of course, we all know the new Miles Morales Spider-Man suit that's, been kind of polarizing. People like it, people hate it, people dig it, people don't. I'm kind of on the side of it depends on who draws it. I'll tell you one thing I saw in this book, and I'm not going to get too deep into all of my books, but the one thing I saw in this book that I really don't dig is how big they've made this hoodie part of the suit. I really want the suit to be more form-fitting. Like, the design doesn't bother me, but I really want the suit to be more form-fitting so that he can swing through the air and everything. I'm not sure how big of a problem it is for the hoodie part to be free-flowing like it is, but it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. It's not going to stop me from buying the book. I'm all in on the book. The book itself is kind of a couple of day in the life stories. There's no real movement on his story, going forward. We get introduced to the next villain he's going to see, which is interesting. But there's not a whole lot of movement for his stories. It's just day in the life stuff. I will admit the missing mother and father in these stories, the new family member shift, Billy's not in these stories. Okay, maybe I have a few problems. And my biggest problem, and I hate this with minority character books, and I don't want to get really deep into political diatribe, and I don't want to polarize anything, but this last story in this book is like Spider-Man, Miles Morales Spider-Man 10 years in the future, and does some cool things. He sees some kids trying to break into something, breaks it up, at least has a discussion with one kid about great power, great responsibility, and his mentor and where he gets it from, and some of the people and some of the things he's had to conquer over the years. All of that stuff was great. We also see a new suit that's not this suit. So sometime in the next 10 years, they're going to get rid of this new suit and he'll be back into something more recognizable. But my big hang up is when writers who don't know how to use certain language, certain slang, if you will, and they come out and they either use it wrong or they overuse it, or it'll be really, really old and outdated, and they don't know it because they've heard it somewhere before. They've seen it on TV and music videos or whatever, but they don't use that kind of language in regular life. And so when they try to use it, it comes off as inauthentic and just a little insulting. I really wish writers who don't normally talk that way wouldn't try to force that language in a book. I would rather a character like Miles, use some Puerto Rican. I think he is Puerto Rican. If he is not, please correct me. But I'd rather him use some Puerto Rican, but then kind of speak basic straight English, maybe. I know it sounds weird, but I really don't like when people try to use slang that's not natural to them and they force it. It's a thing with me. And in this last story, even though I like what the story was saying, I like what Miles is doing in the story. It's probably the best story in the book outside of the actual dialogue. The actual dialogue shoots it down quick, fast, and in a hurry. But we've got issue 30 here just to have it, if you want to say that. It's not really important if you want to jump on to Miles Morales Spider-Man sometime soon, but having the 10-year anniversary issue is not bad. Now to something a little less controversial, also from Marvel. We have Marvel Dark Ages #2. I checked this book out also, and I am loving the story. I am loving the treachery in the story, and I like that this issue here kind of sets us up. So for those who haven't read Dark Ages, issue 1 basically shows us this big threat, and heroes go and they take care of this big threat. But at the end, taking care of the big threat, the clash, causes electricity to go out all over the earth. Just no electricity, period. I think it's being described as like an EMP in the middle of the earth. So you can't do anything, period. And I like that they show us, what it looks like now, how humanity is trying to rebound and everything like that. And then you see the treachery, and then you get the master plan from the villain of the book. And I really, really like the team up that they showed us at the end of this issue. So I'm going to keep on reading Dark Ages. It's an Elseworld story. I think 6 issues. Tom Taylor, you know the name, you know the game. Catch up on Dark Ages. Next book I picked up, Dark Hawk #2. Of course, this is a brand new Dark Hawk character. I still haven't read #1 yet, so I of course haven't read #2. But this is a new Dark Hawk character. Popular kid in school, I think played basketball, stricken with a terrible disease, and now he has to find his way through life and through this new Dark Hawk persona. So we'll see what happens. I assume he meets Spider-Man sometime in the book because of the cover. So we'll see what happens there. I think people are really liking Dark Hawk, so I'm going to give it a read, and maybe we should all catch up. Next book, Thor #17. I was going to say 18, but I believe 18 is the Throg issue. Just as a reminder for those who may or may not pick up Thor, Throg is coming up real soon. But this issue, #17, I have the Miles Morales 10th anniversary cover. And we're basically getting a meeting of Thor and his family. Throughout this run, Thor's hammer has been getting heavy, and we find out a couple of issues back why, which is that the hammer senses that Thor needs to be king and may not be able to be Asgard's hammer, Asgard's protector anymore. And that is causing the problem for him, and the hammer is causing self-confidence problems. At least that's what I read. And he needs to know what to do going forward. And that's kind of I think the wrap up of the family discussion is in issue 17 before we move forward. I haven't read it yet, but I'll check it out soon, and I will let you know what I think. The next book I actually have 3 issues of. I feel like you can guess what I got and the discussion that is going to come afterwards. So I have 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man 75, the webhead variant, because you never know what will happen. You never know if the ASM 55 fiasco will happen again, and these will gain some traction. Now, what I did was I ordered 3 of them, for that reason, in case they gain traction. But since then, we had the whole Penguin Random House thing where they shipped Marvel books in bad boxes, and they didn't pack them right. There were a lot of damages, and I've talked to a couple of LCS owners or managers, and fortunately, in my neck of the woods, we kind of escaped some of that stuff. The packing still wasn't perfect, but somehow we got less damages here than other people, so that's great. I got one ding on the corner of one of these 3. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a small ding there, but the other 2 came out pretty well. So I grabbed 3 of these. I assume I'm going to be reading the one with the ding, because I do want to know what comes of Amazing Spider-Man after Nick Spencer's run. If issue 75 catches my attention, I may go forward with Amazing Spider-Man, but it looks like Amazing Spider-Man is like 3 issues per month going forward. And I don't know about 3 issues per month of Amazing Spider-Man or any book not named Moon Knight. So we'll see what Amazing Spider-Man has in store. But that is what I got for Marvel over the last couple of weeks. My next book, I think most of everyone knows it and loves it, and it is Nice House on the Lake, issue number 5. I still have not read anything past issue number 1. I have to reread issue number 1 because I have this thing with team books and keeping up with a whole bunch of characters, and I want to go back and reread issue number 1 and get a feel for all of the characters that have come to this house with Walter while the world goes to pot and they don't know it. From what I've heard, each subsequent issue of Nice House on the Lake has focused on one character, which is much better for me. But we'll see what happens. I read issue 1. I have 2 and 3. I think I'm missing 4, and now I have 5. I think after issue 6, they may be taking a hiatus, so that may be a perfect time for me to catch up on 1 through 6 and see what all the hubbub is about. Next issue was a real fun issue, because they always are. Robin number 6. So in Robin number 6, we've been kind of building up and anticipating this Mortal Kombat style tournament, fight to the death on in the League of Lazarus, as they call it. And finally the tournament starts, because everybody's died at least one time. I think that's when the tournament starts. And we have Robin kind of on an alternate journey. Like, he's in the tournament, but he also knows that something's going on with this I forget what the lady's name is. I want to call her Mother Earth, but she's not Mother Earth. If you remember what her name is, please help me out. But the woman that is holding the tournament has something else going on up her sleeve. Damien knows it, and so he is kind of fighting on two fronts. You also have the rest of the characters that are kind of waking up, or either letting him know that they also know that something's going on. And so we'll see where this goes. Damien thinks he's figured it out. He's been studying the Lazarus language and thinks he knows what's going on. So we'll have to see what happens in the next few issues. But Robin issue number 6 was a blast. Now I have to go and find the B cover, because I've been saying that I'm going to get the B cover for all the Robin issues, but I failed to do so for issue 6. What can I say? I'm rusty. The next book I have is Superman, Son of Khalid, issue number 3. I have also yet to read this book, but I figure it's pretty good. I am going to try and enjoy it. I like the idea of really trying to, plant the seeds of the next Superman in the heads of the readers, because I've said before that some of our older characters, some of our Peter Parkers, some of our Clark Kents, some of our Bruce Waynes, this is gonna really, really sting some people, but I think it's time for them to start taking a break. We've been writing stories about them since my parents and grandparents were born. It's time for some of these guys to get a break. They don't have to die necessarily, but write some fresh characters, bring some new blood, and I believe this is a good start. Also a Tom Taylor book. Of course, everybody knows Tom Taylor brings the quality. One thing I do see that I'm kind of apprehensive about, I want to keep my eyes on, is that there are certain social issues we've seen in this book already, and I don't mind a social issue or two in a few books, sprinkled in a little bit, but I hope it doesn't get too heavy, because I do like the other ideas going on in this book. So that is Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue number 3. I'm going to give it a read. I'll come back, report to you what I thought. Keep it up with the comic style. My next book, and the surprising book of the week, is Transformers Shattered Glass, issue number 2. Why is this the surprising book of the week? Because I have betrayed my childhood self and found sympathy for Megatron. So in this book, we find out that the simple answer to this book is that this is an alternate story where the Decepticons are good and the Autobots are bad. But what we really get here is that the Autobots are trying to run a government that may either be authoritarian or something like that. I am not going to profess to be a political science major, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what kind of government that they're running, but we get a little twist on Megatron's origin story, which in IDW, and maybe throughout the rest of comics, I don't know, but in IDW, Megatron's origin story is that he started off as a slave, in the mines in Cybertron, and kind of rose up and through the fight pits kind of showed his power, and also recruited people to his side to rise up and overthrow an oppressing government. But then, the old saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that's how Megatron becomes Megatron. Well, here they put a little spin on it, and what we end up getting is a story where the Autobots do end up being bad. The Decepticons end up, I don't know about being good, but not being the ultimate bad guys that we know them to be throughout Transformers history. And I found some sympathy for Megatron. I found him to be a sympathetic character. I found his fight to be worthwhile. And yeah, so I like King Grimlock, which is another alternate Transformer story. But I do think that Shattered Glass, not Class, may take over Grimlock. King Grimlock is my favorite alternate universe Transformer story. But this is issue number 2. Pretty good issue, and yeah, we're gonna keep rolling with it. I think it's a 5-part mini, and I'm definitely down for the whole story. Now, this book I didn't see myself getting, but I was strolling through a store the other day. I was looking for Last Flight Out issue number 2, which I still haven't found. I'm gonna either grab or maybe just get off Comixology so I can read it, because I really did enjoy Last Flight Out issue number 1. But while I was out, one of the books I did consider getting, I went ahead and picked up, which is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance issue number 1. I think it's an Image book. Yeah, I don't know much about it. All I know is I like this guy on the cover with the cigarette in his mouth. If he is the guy who has the thirst for vengeance, he looks like he is going to quench his thirst in about 15 minutes and 45 seconds. So we're going to see what's in this book. We're going to check it out. And again, I'll let you know what I thought about it. And the last book I picked up over the last 2 weeks is Last Ronin, issue number 4. I believe mostly everybody knows about the Last Ronin, or the premise of the Last Ronin, which is most of the turtles and Splinter are dead. This is kind of the future, and one turtle is going to try and get revenge for everyone else. I feel like everybody knows who that turtle is, but for the one person that may watch my video that hasn't read this book, I won't spoil who the turtle is, but I think you can guess with the bow staff bloody and in the snow, you know who it's not. So we're going to check this book out, see what it has in store. Issues 1 through 3 were pretty good. I really liked the flashback parts of the story a little bit more than the story going forward. So we'll see what it has for us in Last Ronin issue number 4. And that was all the books I picked up for New Comic Book Day, or I guess the past 2 New Comic Book Days. I would like to thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. I am glad to be back doing this. I know it sounds like I've been gone for 6 months. It really feels like it, but I've been off the grid for a couple of weeks, and I am back happy to be doing this, be part of the community, be active. All that stuff is great. But if you enjoyed yourself, go ahead, hit the like button. And if you want to keep up with me picking up my comics, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. And also, if you are watching the premiere, you can go ahead as soon as this is over with and roll over to the Spine Ticks channel. Spine Ticks at 10 o'clock Central, 11 Eastern. I think it's 8 on the West Coast. They have a big, gigantic panel, have fun, basically have a comic book party, and they're up to like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how they do it. I need 3 old people naps and a cup of coffee to keep up with these guys, but it is an amazing and exciting time. So 10 Central, 11 Eastern, Spine Ticks. Until then, as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.